capital. Share capital. Let me explain what share capital is. And this is a concept that is very crucial for you that want to start business registration, or you are interested in learning about CAC registration. Now, minimum share capital is a very important concept in company registration, and I'm going to be breaking it down in this particular video. So I need you to make sure you give this video a thumbs up, hang on till the end or later part of the video so that you get all the information I'll be sharing in this particular video. Without any further ado, let's go into the video. So the first thing you want to take note is that there are two major types of minimum share capital or shares in Nigeria. There are many other types in other countries, but one of the we use for the registration of companies, we use two major share structures. We have the equity share structure and we have the preference share structure. I'm breaking it down. In the equity share structure, the equity share structure shows ownership, shows ability of the shareholder to have voting rights, and it also doesn't have much preference. The dividend sharing for equity shares is dependent on the profit. So if, for instance, the company makes about $10 million profit this year, whatever the equity shareholder will get paid will be different from if in the later year they make $20,000 or they make less. So their dividend is dependent on the profit of the company. So it varies based on whatever amount of share they are holding. Now, let me quickly talk about the preference share. The preference share refers to the share that is, now in the word preference, it means you are giving more importance. The preference share you don't have to vote. You don't have a voting right now if you are holding a preference share in a particular company. And whenever any issue comes up, you are giving preference over those with equity share capital, right? So you are giving more preference when it comes to share. But meanwhile, the amount of dividend you get is fixed because you are holding a preference share. So now, why is this information very important? It's very important because when you are deciding to create a structure for your business, don't forget that company registration gives structure. And when you are creating this structure, you must know and understand what you are trying to do. You must know those that are qualified to be in the equity share of things, while you must also determine those that should be in the preference hems of things. Now, if you have someone who's an investor or a co-investor or a co-founder, those people who are contributing both their money, their time, and experience into the business, it's always advisable to have them in the equity part of things. That way, they would be willing to commit their more time to see the business grow. Don't put someone who is not, ready to commit their time. They are just ready to give you money, and then they are not willing to put their time into the business. Don't give them equity share. Though some people will demand an equity share from you, depending on whether you are ready to make compromise and what the percentage of the equity share is going to be. Especially if your problem is not about getting advice or time, your problem is money, then why not? You can sell a part of the equity share to those particular people so that I can make your money. Now, how should you divide your shares for the company? So the CAC structure gives you opportunity to have a percentage for your equity share and a particular percentage for the preference share. But it doesn't give you the right to have all the shares of the company to be in preference share. It allows you to have more percentage for the equity share to show ownership, while some can also go for the preference share to show, people who are investors in the company. So it's very important to take note of this. Don't allot all your shares for the company in preference. It's even available to have all the shares in equity. And when you're ready to, increase the investors, you can decide to add more shares and make sure those shares are preference share, and then add the new investors or new shareholders and allot preference shares to them, depending on whatever the case is. This will allow you to own more percentage of your company. And I know some of you are interested in owning full percentage of your company because of growth. We've seen a lot of founders that have lost their business because of lack of information. They decide to see anybody that is ready to give them 10 million to invest in the company, and they give the person 40% or 50% equity share of the company. At the end of the day, the person the owner of the company, because you have sold more shares out, you will be having lesser percentage. Once the other board of directors decide to come together, or the shareholders decide to come together and merge their shares together, they'll be having more voting rights than you who founded the company. And at the end of the day, they'll kick you out of your own company that you started. But when you have the proper share structure and you make sure that you allot more of preference share to those who are just trying to get money out of your company, that way you can still hold the voting right. In fact, I read somewhere, you can verify this information anyways. I think Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, Meta now, decided there's a kind of share they have that will make them never to be removed from the board of directors of Meta. Now, this share gives them double voting rights. So you can also do that for your company, that your company will be structured in such a way that you have highest percentage. At every point in time, you will always have the highest voting right. No matter the amount of share that people buy or anything, you would always have the highest voting right. I hope you have learned something new today. My name is Akinbola Ezekiel. Do well to take our course on the CAC Ultimate, the CAC Ultimate Bundle. The link is in the description. Take it, click on the link, take the course. And if you are interested in getting more information, you can also book consultation with us with the link in the description. And if you want us to help you get your business registered, why not drop a message to us using the link in the description as well. My name is Akinbola Ezekiel once again. I'll see you in the next one.